Hi Aries, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. Check them out for all three so that you know which part of you I resonate with most as a reader. With that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. So this week you've got the High Priestess. All right, now this card for me always speaks to hidden things revealed. This is very likely to be a week where some kind of secret, some kind of information or knowledge that you didn't have before is revealed to you. This will be in all of these different areas of life, and it's also to say whatever your intuitions are this week, you absolutely must follow them, right? Listen to your inner knowing, listen to your gut feeling. Now, the other thing with this High Priestess energy, it does usually speak to, it's like a universal significator for women, which means in some way, shape or form, ooh, okay, so you've got a jumping card there, they are going to feature for you in some way. Now, your jumping card, look at this, is the sun, right? So what this tells me is that whatever comes to light this week, it really is for your highest good. It really is for your highest vibrational elevation, right? The sun card is ultimate light, heat, blessings, joy, happiness, abundance even. And with the High Priestess, whatever is revealed to you, and especially as well, if there's something that you are planning to reveal to the world, this bodes very, very well because it means that it's greatly received. Now, obviously, at this moment in time, Mercury is literally just slowing down to go retrograde. It will start that retrograde in the sign of Virgo, but it will reverse back into the sign of Leo. And what this means is whenever something happens in a fellow fire sign, it offers positive energy for you. I wonder if this is that there's something that you are bringing back into your world or some kind of reconnection that happens. And your actions and options, you've got the sun, right? So you really, like, you'd have to work really hard this week to fuck it up, to be, you know, just to call a spade a spade. In terms of the options that are available to you, this is kind of like a universal green light. When it comes to your communications and conversations, there it is, right? The Seven of Swords coupled with the High Priestess this is literally something that you haven't known, something that has been hidden from you, and this is very likely to do in your work and or your professional sphere or your academic sphere. There's something that you have been as yet unaware of that is about to come to light, and when it does, I think you are going to be pleasantly surprised, because even if it feels like a bit of a betrayal, once you have this information, you'll be able to make a really solid move forward. Now, when it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, wherever you've suffered at the hands of an authority figure, you're about to get some kind of apology and or comeuppance, right? When it comes to those of you that are employed by somebody else, this is, if you felt like things have been a bit weird in work for a while, this week you will understand why. Something will be divulged to you, something will be shared with your team, all of that kind of stuff. And when it is, it will make a lot of sense. It will be a moment where you go, okay, so I knew something was going on. I knew things were a bit weird. I just didn't know what. And now that this is all sort of unfolding, I know sort of how to navigate it for myself on a personal level. But it was deliberately kept from you. And, you know, what the reason is behind that, I won't be able to tell you. Now, when it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, I don't think that this is necessarily something, well, no, actually I do. I think that this is something that you have hidden from your peers, your clients, maybe colleagues, maybe your employees, because it's something that you were really worried about. And this week when it comes good, it's like you finally then come forward and say, actually, you know what, I've been really worried about this because ... The other thing is as well, in one of its lightest meanings, the Seven of Swords actually represents what we call fabrication, which is to make something or to design something. So if you've been working on creating something behind the scenes and it's been, you know, had a lot of moving parts and all the rest of it, this could actually be a week where you are, you know, gearing up to start sort of presenting it to the world. So that could be really nice. And then finally, when it comes to your those of you that are retired and no longer working, whatever the secret longing or issue in your heart is, this week you will get a chance to air a grievance. And my advice to you would be to do it as much in the light as you possibly can. Say what you need to say, but don't say any more than that, because otherwise the message gets lost in translation. For your love and relations, you've got the Queen of Swords. Very interesting, right? Because the Queen of Swords, so aside from like being a person, the Queen of Swords will usually represent like a battle. It's like what we fight for, right? What we fight for, what we're willing to fight for, what we're truly ready to go to war for, quite frankly. And in your love sector, for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this is you showing up in some way that says, this is what I'm willing to fight for. This is what I feel like is worth going to to town for. This is what I feel like is worth showing up for. And you'll find a way that is ultimately sort of more diplomatic than usual. The other thing is as well, like this could be where if you've had somebody interfering in a relationship sort of way, it will come to light this week. You will see that, right? And when it does, you'll then be able to say, right, okay, now I know who I can trust, and more importantly, who I can't. And I will adjust accordingly, right? And make sure you do. This is what I say, like, once you catch something like this, you adjust accordingly, right? Now, for those of you that are single and looking, it's possible that this could be an air sign person that you're connecting with, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Air signs and fire signs, you go really well together. Air and fire are very good complementary elements, so that could be an element of this. I will say, if you are meeting somebody completely brand new this week, remember Mercury is going retrograde, and because you've got this Seven of Swords in the communications and conversations and the High Priestess, there's something about this person or this person's past that you are not as yet aware of. You will come to find it out, and you will be able to make an informed decision about whether you want to continue in that connection with this person. So it's not like you're just going to be fumbling in the dark. And then finally, for your money and materials, look at that. You've got the Ace of Cups. Money will find you this week. It's not something that you have to go sort of looking for, trawling for. You got the Ace of Cups with the Sun card, which means you've been pulling money in or calling money in. You've been asking for resources, asking for help, asking for a blessing of some sort, and this week it shows up for you. With this Seven of Swords in the communication sector, I will say it's probably wise for you to be very discerning about who you share this with. All right, like this is something that you probably want to keep sort of quite close to your chest. Chosen few, inner sanctum only. And then for your when it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Ace of Cups is beautiful for physical health because it really is a healthy energy. It's like things are good, they're warm, they're fruitful, they're all of those good things. And then finally, when it comes to, I will say as well, for those of you that are of childbearing years, this is a very fertile energy, especially with the Sun card, right? So you want to be extra careful here. If you are in a relationship where you've been trying, etc., this could be a really wonderful, this could be where the blessing shows up. And then when it comes to your home and environment, this is a chance to start over and a chance to start afresh. My advice would be to take it, but if you're going to do this, it has to be all cards on the table. And if you feel like there are, things that are still sort of not being spoken about, you have to get to the bottom of them this week, because otherwise you won't have the foundation that you need in order to move forward. All in all, I would say this is, even with that Seven of Swords, and if you've been with me long enough, I hate that card. It's like the card that I hate the least, that I hate the most in the whole deck. But even with that, I think this is decidedly a very wonderful week where things really do start to shift for you. With that said, if you want to book your personal session with me, you can do so on the link in the description box below. I would like to wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.